Today's video is about best practices for developing and testing, especially in a larger team. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to go with a very simple example. So let's suppose you work in a team and your job is to make a couple of health bars that will be used throughout the project. The health bar shows a number between 0 and 100 in a partially filled bar. The bar should change color when it gets lower, so that it is green for a high value and yellow for a medium value and red for a low value. So you're in a team, as I said, so in order to avoid merge conflicts, here is how I would advise you to organize yourself. So you make a scene that is purely for developing and testing your health bar prefab. So in my case here, I have my scenes folder. In that I have a test folder, and there I have a health bar test scene, which is the scene that's loaded right now. This is the scene that you will work and test in, and it should be used to demo to the rest of the team how the prefab works. Again, I'm assuming that you will have your health bar as a prefab. You should definitely, absolutely have that. So the scene here contains the absolute minimum that's needed to demo your feature. In this case, it's the main camera, a canvas that holds the prefab GUI element that you're building, and some scaffolding UI, so which is everything that's inside this folder. If I just turn it off, you can see what that is. It's all of that. So I call this scaffolding, which is a term that's normally used for unit testing, referring to code that is set up for testing other code. I use the term a little broader here, so bear with me. The scaffolding in this scene is the slider and the text below, the prefab that they live in, and the script of that prefab. So all of that is only for testing and demoing the health bar. So the test health bar script prefab here sits right here. This test script here just connects the slider, which is just whatever built-in Unity user element that I just needed for this. The text field that I have here, again just standard Unity, and then my health bar, which is the health bar that I built. So I'm not going to go into what's in this code and what's in the code of the actual health bar, how that works. Maybe I'll do another video about that. But for now, I'm just going to be talking about why I do it like this. So what are the advantages with having all of this in its own scene? So first of all, when you develop the prefab in your own demo scene, you won't experience merge conflicts with other devs working in other scenes. Now this scene is just about the health bar that you're developing, so it's only you that make changes to the scene. You push your changes to the other devs by applying changes to prefab. So change something here and apply changes to prefab. Oh, that was actually a bit low. Apply changes to prefab, and then push the change through collab or through git commit or whatever version and control system you normally use. And because the only things that changed here was your script, whatever changes you made are confined to this scene, and nobody else should be working in this scene other than you, then you shouldn't have any merge conflicts with the other developers. Now also, because this scene, as I said, contains the absolute minimum, this encourages you to think very carefully about minimizing your prefab's dependencies on other game objects. So this health bar is supposed to do that one thing, is to colorize this sprite according to the value that's set on the health bar. It's not going to do anything else. During sprint review, this is another advantage. During sprint review, or whatever way you use to communicate progress with the rest of your team, you have your obvious thing to demo right here. You can use this to show to your teammates, to your project manager, or to whomever you need to communicate progress with, and show them how things are going. It's also a nice place to discuss design with, for instance, your designer, your art director, or others that have a say in the design and the visual aspects of the feature. You can just fire up this scene, show them what's going on, and say, okay, so this is what my health bar looks like now. When the value goes down, it turns yellow, and maybe your designer will say, yeah, I'm not too happy about green color. Can you change that? And sure you can. You can just change it in here. You can just change it to some other color that you want. And apply changes to prefab, of course. And then your designer is going to go, oh, that's much better. No, it's actually not. It's too dark. Make it a little bit lighter. And apply changes to prefab. And here we go. So, finally, when other devs on your team want to figure out how to use the health bar, they can go into your scaffolding scene here, into your development scene here, and see exactly how you used the prefab. So they can see here that so the health bar, it has these values and it has a max health and an initial health, and I see. Okay, interesting. So they know how to use your prefab in other contexts.